Hi everybody, welcome to the Word at One on this Monday, January 17th. So the next passage that we have in Matthew is a tough one. It's an extremely tough one, and this is after Jesus and his family have escaped to Egypt, and they escaped Egypt because something terrible was going to happen in the town where he was born in Bethlehem. This is Matthew 3, verse 16 to 18. When Herod realized that he had been outwitted by the Magi, he was furious, and he gave orders to kill all the boys in Bethlehem and its vicinity who were 2 years old and under, in accordance with the time he had learned from the Magi. So he's using what he learned from them to cause destruction. Then what was said through the prophet Jeremiah was fulfilled. A voice is heard in Ramah, weeping and great mourning, Rachel weeping for her children and refusing to be comforted because they are no more. So this connection of children is something that we're going to talk about this week, and how God sees life in the womb and life outside of the womb, how God sees each one of us. Today, as we remember Martin Luther King Jr. and all of those who worked in civil rights activism and placing their lives and their families and their livelihoods on the line to stand up for seeing every human being as equal. This is something that every culture has struggled with since the beginning of time, and that is the core sin, the core failing that happens is humans look at each other and they see them as less. And what we remember today is when people make the courageous step to stand up and to change people's perspective and to change how people view each other. So that instead of viewing each other as less because of their color, because of where they come from, because of even the stage of life that they're in, that when people see each other as less, evil abounds. And in our country, this evil is abounding in abundant and horrible ways in the destruction of children inside the womb. It's the same core root of evil. Seeing these babies as less because they are not outside the womb, because of how little they are, because of all these lists of things, X, Y, Z. Seeing these babies as less. And so then the murder of these babies becomes something that we just don't pay attention to. It's happening somewhere else. And on this Martin Luther King Jr. Day, it's particularly important to say that the abortion industry targets African American communities. That not only do they see these babies as less, that they target the Black community. They see these people as less. And that is the root of so much evil. Not just murder and destruction that we see, even though it's very hidden, but that's the truth. But murder and destruction and how we treat each other day by day. This is the root of that evil. And Jesus wants us to look at each other differently. He came, he was saved from this massacre, but he wasn't saved from the cross. Because on the cross, he made the ultimate statement that every single person in every age and stage, every single person, he died on the cross for. That is the great equalizer. That we are all in need of the cross, and we all have access to the forgiveness of the cross. That those roots of evil in us don't have to be the final word. And even if we've given in, even if that's the way we've lived, Christ has forgiveness for us because of the cross. You and I were important enough to him for him to go to the cross and to stay on it. So we're going to look this week at this root of evil, looking at other people as less, the destruction that it causes, and the opportunity that we have as believers through God's word and through relying on him and holding on to him of changing that around in our lives and in the world around us. We'll see you all tomorrow.